Is it? Do I just hit the record button, or is it
I don't
play? Or can you hear me? Can you see me?
think so. I
Is
don't
it?
remember how any of this works.
Is it? Oh my! It's actually. It says it's going right now. Recording
Oh,
live. Oh,
oh no.
welcome back to the Trading Arc Season 2. No, you don't want to start with that. We don't. I thought we said we were going full on YouTuber. What's up, guys? It's your boy Colby. We're back with
I thought we
Season
had a
2.
professional intro for season two that you were gonna
That already
play and it would
played, and
roll.
now they're hearing us do this, and they're gonna think we forgot
Oh,
everything, and we're not even like serious about this stuff anymore.
no.
I don't.
Do we start over?
You know what? I don't think so. I think if we recall back to episode 1, and that little blurb that's underneath the training arc kind of symbol that we have, it's called authentic bodybuilding. So I think we're gonna keep it authentic and just gonna keep this in there, and people will appreciate that and be like, "Wow, we're just so happy to see you both, and your hair is both longer, and Jake's still looks better than Colby's." And yeah, I would agree with all those statements. But so we're back. We're here.
We back.
It's it feels so good. It's Jake and I had a call earlier about like a week ago, a couple days ago actually, and just kind of catching up because we knew if we did that live, we would just spend 3 hours just saying how much we missed each other. We probably still will do that within this episode, to be honest, and we did it a little bit before this, but it's good to be back, and I think before we jump into it, I think we just want to say we really appreciate you all for being here. If it's your first time here, if it's your 33rd, I think this is the 33rd episode, whatever it might be, we now more than ever we know how precious time and energy is, and for you to take some of that and give it to us means a lot, and we do very much appreciate that. So yeah, on that note of knowing how precious time and energy is, I we've been we've been using some of that time and energy for stuff, for a lot of stuff. It's the sometimes you're dealt these hands and these cards. Sometimes you're unlucky. Sometimes it's you just gotta wait. And sometimes you're still, the owner of that hand, right? Like I talked about before, one of my favorite Marlon Craft hip hop artists' quotes was just talking about how, like, the cards are yours. Sometimes they're in your hands. And I think it's been a little bit about that for us too, right? And it's kind of a nice, it's a privileged spot to be in where we've been purposely being busy doing stuff that we want to do or need to finish. And I think that's a cool place to be, and we very much are grateful for that. But also just time flies by within that, right? And I think it's cool that we experienced it. We've done a lot of cool things, and that's why we want to come back on too and just have so much to kind of share with you, kind of where we've been, where we're going, and all that fun stuff. So, Jake, where you been? We like to do a lot of cool stuff. I know we do, and sometimes we just don't have time for all this cool stuff.
Yeah. The truth is, I haven't done anything cool. I've just been really lazy. So I haven't
We said we
done.
weren't gonna do that. We said we were gonna lie to them and say like,
Oh,
"Oh gosh, you guys gotta subscribe and Patreon and do all this stuff because then you'll see all the cool stuff." But we're not gonna promise that,
that's right.
right?
Sorry about that. I forgot. I forgot about our mission here was to lie
Damn
and steal
it!
people's money.
Damn it!
Uh, no, yeah, things have been crazy. I think you said that really well. That like, sometimes it's stuff that you want to do, sometimes stuff that you need to do, or some combination of them, and it just takes time and energy. And like, man, sometimes something's got to give, right? And unfortunately, these episodes had to give for a little bit, but we back now, and it's fine, and we can disguise it as saying it's season one versus season two. Not that we fell off for a minute. It's just that it was season one that ended, and we needed some production time to get into season two.
We we don't even like anime. Like all this merch that you see in our rooms
Right.
is a disguise. We just use that term because it's becoming popular nowadays, and also so now in the future and currently right now we can use that as an excuse of saying like we were just in a training arc of ourselves actually, and it was all part of the plan, whether we knew it or not. And now we're coming back for season 2, or we're coming back when we leveled up, or we have these new skills. We've restored our mana. We got these cool swords, whatever it might be.
I wish I had a sword.
I kind of do too. I Are you more of a sword or an axe guy?
I'm a sword guy.
Okay. Bow and arrow is the correct answer, but that's okay.
True.
So yeah,
Uh,
do you want to start? Do you want to say where what stuff that you've been up to? I think
I can.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's really been two things really. So, but they're tied together, right? So getting close to the end of the PhD. So that means one, we got to actually finish it, right? Data collection is done, so then it's just analysis and figuring stuff out. How do we make sense of the data? How do we even know how to analyze it in the first place? Which I can circle back to. Finishing all that stuff, getting ready for the defense presentation, whatever. But then also, what's going to happen after I graduate, right? Like that is such a big question for a long time. And went through. Did we talk about this on the show, like some of the job search stuff, or maybe not? I don't
Very
remember.
briefly, I think. Yeah.
So that was the main thing. Was like, okay, I want to have something set up for when I graduate, which is planned to be this summer, 2026. And there was options for that, right? It's sort of like, do you want to go just fully lean into working for yourself, entrepreneur, online, all that stuff? Do you want to try to get a job in industry somewhere? Do you want to do some combination? And for me, it's the goal has really been some combination. That's always been the goal. It was just exactly what that combination looks like. I wasn't sure on. And the closer I got to graduating, the more I started to really lean into like, I think I kind of know what this combination looks like for me. And that is to still basically do what I do now, right? Which is teach a little bit, a bunch of research stuff, and then like coaching and content stuff also. And I think that the reason I like that is like you hit all three levels of this thing where you have research where you're like creating this new knowledge, content creation, science communicator, whatever, you're now spreading that knowledge, and then coaching, you're applying the knowledge, right? You hit all three of them. And like, this is awesome. And they all feed into each other and help to inform what we do in both directions. And so that just, I was like, I have to keep doing that, right? And there's just so many other cool research things to look at. And I want to keep doing that. So then it became, all right, well, what's like a university job, right? What's that look like? And Dr. Zordos was always like, hey, this is a full-time job applying for these, just so you know. And I was like, all right. He was right, so that took a lot of, I applied to like 30 something places, and all of them it's between 2 and 4 like essays for each one that are like, it's multiple pages long. It's like a cover letter, and then it's a research statement, and it's like what research that you want to do and your plan moving forward. And you do that for the teaching, and you have to like, you can't just use the same thing for every job. You have to tailor it to the specific university and what they're looking for. And like, you're digging through their website and you're finding like, oh, here's this one little detail I can reference in my letter to make it show that I actually did my homework. And so all that was so time consuming. And then you're getting these Zoom interviews, and it's like, I did, I don't know, 12 or 13 of these Zoom interviews. And that is like, they all ask kind of similar questions, but some of them are different. And so you're preparing, okay, I have a Zoom interview on Friday with so-and-so. These are the questions that they're probably going to ask me, some permutation of these things. Well, let me dig through the website again and try to come up with like, how do I best answer these to really suit that position and highlight my strengths and all these things, so that's all of that. And then if you do well enough there, they invite you out to campus for the final interview, which then means you're flying to wherever, right? And spending a couple days there. And so I was lucky to do that 3 times. So I had 3 final interviews, which was great. And wound up having a choice of job by the end that I'm very excited about. So, but it was so stressful and time consuming. It was so much, and I'm so glad that it's over. And because it's all the prep time, and it's just stressful and all this stuff, and then you get to the point where now you're going to these interviews, and now it's like I'm flying all over the place, and then there's the delays, and then there's, so this got canceled. Oh, I guess I'm stuck in Seattle tonight. Figure that out. And then it's all this, so there's that, and then all of a sudden you went all week and you didn't train because you just didn't have the time, and you're going all over the place, and so that was a roller coaster. But we made it.
Yes.
We made it, and we wound up with what honestly, like, career wise is ideal. Like, there's not really anything better that I'm aware of that was out there. And I'm just stoked about it, right? So I will be an assistant professor going back home to Illinois,
Ooh.
where I did my undergrad, actually. And it's just like I'll be able to teach a little bit, but it's not the majority of the job. Research stuff, dude, their their equipment is awesome. Right, I was telling you about this before. It's like for the listeners, you think we've done some cool stuff at FAU? You just wait, dude, because like their equipment is even better than what we've got. And it's oh man, it's gonna be. They have $100,000 ultrasound. Like it's crazy, right? This thing is like a Mercedes Benz of ultrasound, and so I'm really excited about the research that I can do there. They have so many resources and connections within the department, and also outside the department within the whole university, and all this stuff, and the connections that I've built through my time as a grad student and in the industry. And there's just a lot of really exciting opportunities with just really cool research that we can keep doing, and I'm stoked about it, man. And I think the best part is some jobs really don't like their faculty. Some schools don't like their faculty being online doing social media stuff or having other positions or whatever. This one is not that, right? So this one, like, very cool with social media stuff. Obviously, as long as it's professional, whatever. So we're screwed. But
I was gonna say we don't have to put this online.
Yeah.
If you don't want to.
Yeah,
I have nothing to lose. I'm gonna go home.
Right.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So that's good. They don't care at all about coaching, and like this position is one that it has the flexibility where I can continue to not just do that stuff, but like continue to build that stuff. And so it's the perfect fit job wise for me. Maybe not my number one choice of like any living destination in the world, but I grew up there. I'm comfortable there. I know it there. I do like it there. I get seasons. People know how to drive. People in South Florida do not know how to drive. It's like GTA 5 out here, bro. It's crazy. So,
we just lost one follower from that. That's crazy.
Yeah, probably.
Zordos isn't listening anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you know what?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super stoked about it, man. Like I'm very happy, and it'll be, like I said, it's like the perfect fit for me, and I just think that it's going to be awesome. So we'll have career stuff is going to be really great once I move. The move itself, I am dreading, but we'll get through it, and we'll be good. So
I already called dibs on your manga. You said you were only taking half, so I'm gonna buy the rest.
I did not say that.
Damn it! I thought it would work.
I did not say that. I am stressed about moving all these books, though. You can't really see it on the camera. I have a lot of books.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And some of them are very expensive, so I'm stressed a little. And some of them are like can't really be replaced, like they're signed by authors and stuff that, like, you know. So it's we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's the main thing I've been up to lately. There's sort of the second piece, which was you get back from all that travel and you get the job and you like sigh of relief, but then it's like, oh no, I got to finish my degree now. So that's been the more recent thing is that, but we're in a good spot now. We're getting closer.
Yeah, I can only imagine how that process is. I actively avoided it because it just not sound fun to me. Not only because of that. I wanted to pause the schooling stuff for a little bit, but like right out of all of, like, you're still, like I said, you're still amongst it, and then to go back, okay, well now I need to write all this other papers essentially, but I have to also talk about myself in it, which is like, and try to market myself. Like it's
weird.
It's tough, yeah, and it's scary, and there's a lot that's going on there, and to do all that while still balancing your own, schooling and your own clients and life and everything else is rough. So again, like, huge kudos to you. You should be just immensely proud that you even got that far, and you're this far, and you're only going to go further, right? So it's super cool to see. I know I already gushed over you a lot when you first called, but I'll do it a little bit more.
Pause. No,
Okay, restart.
See, we're already screwed. We can't.
I already just said so many kind things to you and gave you a thumbs up. All right.
I'm thank you, dude. I am very excited. It'll be great. I've also come to really appreciate, I love working for myself with stuff. The freedom is just like, you can't beat it. At the same time, healthcare benefits are pretty cool, right? And like retirement's pretty cool, and to be able to have that in like 10 years, pretty cool. So those things will be really nice.
But don't you just, what about just the enticing idea that if you don't put stuff out there, you don't create content, you don't get clients, that you're just gonna live in a box your whole life. Like that for me is what gets me going, and that's why I chose this route because it's like, oh, I need to starve a little bit. I need to do some stuff. I need to be my own boss, but then not be my own boss because it's cool to not have to do stuff. It's just like that intensity really makes me fantastic. You
I
don't want this?
I don't. I do relate to that too. Like I know you're kind of joking, but
But
there's some truth to it,
it
right?
is, yeah, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
like I said, so if people don't know, like like I said, I kind of am going the opposite route where I want to see if this entrepreneurial stuff, like go full in on there first. I think I love the research, I love the school, this teaching stuff, but I did that straight through like the 10 years of all schooling. Like I just never stopped, which I also enjoyed and did it purposely. But now I want to see what this other side looks like, right? I want to see what the more coaching things, I want to see what competing looks like, which I'll get to in a bit as well. So it's like now is the kind of time to do these things, and I'd rather do them now and give that a shot without having, without not doing it and then having regrets. So it's like I'm taking a different route, and it's like you said, pros and cons. There's some things that are extremely scary, that are very tough, and that I'm still trying to get better at, and there's things that are beneficial, right? So I think it's interesting to see. Which that's why I also think it's really cool of what we got here at the training art, because we're doing a little bit of all of it, like we said, but in different ways, and we're different people as well, so we approach it differently, and we still learn from each other, which is nice, and we're learning from the audience, and we're just always learning, which is what the whole training arc is about too, right? So it's cool to be able to take people along the journey and say like, hey, here's what we're learning, here's like where you can go, here's what you can do. Don't do what I did here because this is something that's not too great, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool things, I think. But
Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot through this process.
absolutely.
Um, yeah, it'll be great. I don't know. I had that for a long time. That was my plan, was just to do the full entrepreneur thing. Um, because I think what I've learned about myself, and I don't feel ashamed admitting this. I'm just not built for the constant stress of like, oh no, I lost a client. Oh no. Or like always needing to keep that ball rolling more and more. Like I've done it, right? I've been doing it for whatever. I've been coaching for like 8 years or whatever. But like, man, it just would be nice to let that be a thing. And like like I said, I'm still gonna push it. I'm still gonna try to grow it and still have it be as good as it can possibly be. But like I have a salary. Like I'll be okay if somebody drops and that sort of thing, right?
So sorry,
And
salad, what is that? Could you explain?
yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I really have just come to be honest with myself that like I do really value that stability, and to get that you have to give up some freedom, right? Like there's, like you said, pros and cons with everything, but I have no regrets at all so far. At least I haven't even started the job, so ask me again soon. But for now, like I don't know. This really feels like the right move, and it's a great balance of stability with also opportunity and freedom for things. And I'm really fortunate that this even worked out. Like there's dude, it's tough to find these jobs, man. Especially like I don't have a postdoc, and so a lot of these places require postdocs now, outside of like the teaching schools, which those are awesome. It just wasn't the right fit for me, right? Like I just want to be able to do more research and stuff. So these are few and far between. You also, obviously, there has to be an opening for you. They're not just going to hire somebody. There has to be a tenure track. I only want a tenure track. There just has to be an opening, which means somebody retired, and so almost always. And like, so it's tough, right? So I'm just very glad that not only was something able to work out, but it was something that will be this good of a fit. Like I was telling some people, it's like not just that the stars aligned, it's like the stars and the planets and the parallel universes all aligned to make this work. So, yeah.
But you also, you're Beerus. You're able to manipulate those things and make it happen.
That's
So that's
true.
okay.
That's true.
It's
We've talked about this. Like
yeah, yeah.
some of it was for me, right? Like
Yeah.
some of it, I still had to apply. I still had to do good in the interviews. I still had to, like when I was in my undergrad, like part of it is the connections I made during my undergrad, right? I think it would be naive to say that that wasn't part of this. And like I had to make that happen, right? So I am proud of that, and I am taking the a little bit of credit for that. But I also like, man, luck is
It's
a thing, dude.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
Shout out God, bro.
Yeah. It's yeah, that's just so cool. We're always doing some kind of pushing and pulling, right? Figuring stuff out. And I think this is something I keep reminding myself, so I think it'd be good to tell you and for other people to kind of listen as well. Is you can always do something else and change your mind. Like that's okay,
Yeah.
because there's a very possible chance where it's like, in a couple months I'm just like, I this is a little bit too stressful where I'm doing. I need to go get a university position and I want that a little bit more as well, and then I can figure this stuff out on the side. That's very possible. There's you could go the opposite where like, what, I just don't like this, I want to do more. There's so many possibilities, and that's completely okay. We don't want that to be overwhelming for ourselves in the moment. We want to be present with that, but we want to keep that at the back of our mind to alleviate some of that stress, just so we're not like beating ourselves up all the time, because that's when you just are just carrying this big rock around and you're not able to be aware and present and do the stuff that's right in front of you. Like you're not gonna be able to teach and do the research and appreciate that moment. And I feel like we're just really finding that out more and more about how important it is to be present and to not just realizing time moves fast. Like, man, it's so weird that I haven't been in school. Like, I miss doing research. I miss being around other students. I miss these kind of things. And it's like, wow, that's been some time now, which is kind of crazy to think. But that's just part of life, right? Too. And I think we're in a really cool spot where because we've dipped our toes in a lot of areas, so we've created the ability to walk through multiple doors, right? And I think we kind of talked about before too, is like that's cool to be able to recognize that. And we always talk about how we dislike talking about ourselves and all that, but it's I mean, dude, to go through a PhD and to still do all these things and to get involved with coaching and content and make these connections is like, this is kind of what we were working towards the whole time, whether we knew it or not. All right. And I didn't think like specifically like, yes, I am going to do exactly this and open all these doors. It's more of, I'm going to follow this idea that I like learning and I like being around people who also like to learn and teach, and let me learn from these mentors and we'll see what happens. And
100%.
things happen. So I think, and the main reason why I say all those things is because you just got to kind of follow that scent, right? If you're unsure of what's there and where you want to go, just follow it. Just do whatever is literally just like making you excited, like giving you some kind of joy. Just see what's up. Just start doing it. Like take that first step again, which we've talked a lot about as well. But you never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, that's the thing, man. And I guess just to build on that a little bit, it's like none of the goal is to have options, right? With a career, with whatever we're doing. And like you said, both of us were intentional of trying to give ourselves options, which I think everybody should do. And none of that is, you don't have to get a PhD to be an online fitness entrepreneur, right? But those options and those connections and stuff are not promised by doing a PhD. However, like by doing that, especially if you're very intentional with like where you do it and the people you work with and the location and what else you do on top of just getting the degree done, that's the thing. Like that's the magic, right? Like that's where you make those connections. That's where you meet people. That's where, 5 years down the line, someone's like, hey, I remember you. We talked about this at this conference. Like, I'm starting this thing. You might be a good fit. You know what I mean? Like, you never know where those things are going to go. And it's just like, you have to create it, right? And I think that we're both benefiting from that, which feels really good to say like, man, we spent 10 years going to school, and on top of school, we're learning more about bodybuilding, programming, all the stuff, right? Because you don't learn that in school. Funny enough, you have to learn that on your own. And then we're making connections, we're finding mentors, we're seeking it out. One of us is moving to a completely different part of the world. Like you're doing stuff that's uncomfortable that other people are not going to do, but then now you get to reap the benefits that not everyone gets to reap, right? So I'm so grateful for grad school, to be honest, as silly as that sounds, because it like without that, how would you wouldn't have the relationship with Eric that you do. I wouldn't have the relationship with Zordos that I do, that and all these other things. It's just it's such a great thing.
Our relationship.
We probably wouldn't, like, you know what I mean? Well, we might, because we met before grad school.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Did shout out to Novo Nutrition.
Shout out to Nova.
But I don't think like after De Novo, you wouldn't have been like, hey, you went to grad school and doing cool stuff. Like, how's that going? Like, we wouldn't have made that, and then from there we wouldn't have done all these other things. So it's
That's true.
Use code training arc at discount for de novo nutrition. No.
Dude, if Denovo came back, I would lose my mind. I miss that protein powder so much.
The yeah, pumpkin one was a really good one too.
Oh, the pumpkin one.
Yeah, but that's yeah, it's such a cool spot to be in. And look, just also just look how much we've grown at the training arc that we're able to have this, nice reflection about ourselves. Because
Yeah.
that's something we talked about. We were trying to grow and be better. I was saying, stopping smelling the roses and acknowledging our wins and our progress. And that's like not just exclusive to us, but just people in general. I think should really do that because that's how you level up, right? If you're not able to soak it all in and just to kind of experience the win and really appreciate what that is, you're just gonna be stuck. You can't get that XP to then get to that next level,
Yeah.
right? And I think
You-
that's super important. And I'm saying that to myself mainly because one, I just mainly posted
yeah.
that. That was like one part of my big like splurb of when I talked about my bodybuilding competition because like funny enough, I read it from a manga. It was like if you don't stop, if you don't like stop and kind of embrace your wins and reflect on those, like you just don't get that XP to level up. And that really resonated with me because it was like I felt like I kept doing that. Where it's okay, what's next? Well, what's next? I did this. That's fine. That's cool. It was hard. Whatever. What's next? I want to see what's next. And that's okay to be excited about what's next, but it made it hard to fully level up and go into that and have the confidence and to kind of bloom into what I am, who I am now, right? So it's important to do that. It's just sit with those thoughts and to be there and to be proud of yourself, right? That's important.
It is.
So
Like, this is one of the things that I learned in therapy recently. That I have this, and I would hazard to guess that you have this also. Although I'm not trying to diagnose
I
you.
was gonna say you're diagnosing these.
Schizophrenic. No, I'm kidding. Um,
No, Larry, he
so
doesn't mean that. It's fine.
that I think some of that stopping and smelling the roses and like really taking it in and all that. At least I certainly have this, and I'm sure other people do too. I have spent so much time building up this identity for myself that that I'm a really good person, that I'm nice, that I'm humble, right? I associate really accepting your wins with like bragging and that it makes me not as nice. And like that's just not true. Like you can be confident and you can own the stuff that you do really well and it doesn't make you a bad person actually, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But like it doesn't jive with my weird nice guy mentality that I built over 30 years, right? So I think that is, as you said, so important, and not just important. I think necessary to continue finding that next thing, because eventually, if you never do that, next thing, next thing, next thing, okay, but eventually there's not going to be a next thing. You're going to burn out, and
Yes.
so
Yeah.
it's tough. But on that note of owning the cool stuff that you do, you guys, I'm talking to a natural pro bodybuilder right now. I don't know if you're aware of this. So I want to we need to focus in on Colby here for a minute and talk about something that's way cooler than a faculty research position. This is like actually the dream that we all have is to go in your first season and turn pro. So let's talk about your shows a little bit.
Yeah, no pressure at all. uh, it was, yeah, it's still extremely weird. I think it'll never actually settle in fully. It's settled in a very good way. I will put it that way. I've definitely given it plenty of time and attention to kind of dissect what it all means, which has been cool. And there'll be plenty, I think, of episodes where we go into even further about all this stuff. But it's yeah, what I've been up to is just actually competing and doing that thing. And we were like, but last time we left off on the episode, I was talking a little bit about it and what the plans were, and the plans changed as they always do, in some way. And I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Well, he didn't even compete," and that was always a possibility. And I even acknowledged that at some point. I'm like, "Hey, if it happens where he can't compete, I won't." But that was never the goal, and that was also never like a high chance of that happening because I was just so set on actually doing it because I really wanted to. And I think that in itself is very important to actually just want to do it, right? And it was such a cool journey. And like I just to actually think back of all the cool stuff I've learned was great. And yeah, like in brief kind of summary, I plan to do around 3 shows, maybe 4, just to get my feet wet, just to really experience how it is to be on stage, to try out different federations, to see what that is like, all those things. And I ended up only doing one, and it was kind of like a sequential thing where I said, okay, this one's coming up. Oof, I don't like. It's not that I don't feel ready, because you'll never actually feel ready as much as you want to, especially it being your first time. But it was more of like, I would much rather give myself more time and like give my absolute best on stage later on. So I just kind of kept going with that, having discussions with Eric of like, hey, here's where my headspace is at. What do you think? And he was always extremely supportive and giving some good insight of saying like, hey, do whatever is best for you. Absolutely, I support that. And here's some things to think about on both sides of that. Like, if you compete less, you just won't get that stage exposure, and that might show on stage, and that's okay. But and then if you don't, then you'll be able to maybe bring a better package later on because you give yourself more time. It was helpful to have that person in my corner, and that person to be Eric is just a cheat code. So that was really cool, and that was very helpful. And so it ended up, as time kept going on, it was like I think just doing one show makes the most sense. It was the last show that I was ever planning to do in terms of that timeline. So that was like within a 6-week timeline of potential first to potential last. And as we just kept getting closer, it was like, maybe not this one, maybe not this one. Let's just do this last one. And the reason why that last one was so just right, not only because it was more time, but it was local. It was only a 30-minute drive, which is good. So I didn't have to get a hotel. I didn't have to worry about all that stuff. Tanning was easier that way. It was just less money spent too. Not only because I did less competitions and less federations, but also just local, because that adds up. And I didn't realize
The
that.
people, for the people who don't know, this is unbelievably expensive, right? So like, it's a very real consideration.
I just,
Yeah.
so many times I'm like, how much? Can I do this myself? Can I just hand myself? Like, no, I can't do this. It's my first, like, all these things you just don't, like, you don't really realize until it's in your checkout. But the checkout thing to actually do. Like, damn, this fee, that fee, which I understand, and I was ready for that, but I was also conscious of it. I don't want to go crazy. Like, it is my first season, and not only all those things, I think the biggest thing was all my choices were just derived from what my actual goal and intention of the competition season was. To just do it, to literally just do it. I think the first time we ever talked about it, it was like the only way I would fail is if I didn't do it. So I think that already set me up for a lot of success, because it was just so much less pressure in every way possible. Because it's like, doesn't matter how what would I present on stage, what I do. I could go to pose and I just faint and throw up, and hey, I did it. I showed up. That's fine. Thankfully that didn't happen. Thankfully, but I think that really helped, and it especially helped that last week. Which again, like the last week leading up to it, can be a whole episode itself because there's so much cool stuff. But yeah, I think did the one show, and it went really well. Again, I think not like outcome alone, because again, I went in with like, just do it, have fun, and that whole day was a ton of fun. It was very it was kind of it was odd to me how calm and confident I felt on the day. Like, it was surprising in a really cool way, because it's like, oh man, we're here. Like, this is something I've always wanted to do. Like, since I started training, right? Because you see Arnold, you see all these things, you see Eric Helms show up on Matt Ogus's YouTube video 12, 13 years ago, and you're like, wow, this is so cool. And here I am pumping up backstage. And like, this is so cool. This is so cool. So I think that really helped. And again, like, I was thrown off of how well it went, because I didn't have any expectations of placing of anything else. Just go in, do your thing, be present, enjoy the day, because it will fly by. You're only on stage for so much, and just hit the poses you're supposed to hit. Squeeze the hamstrings, because Eric told you to make sure you squeeze those damn hamstrings. Uh, and I did all those things, and when we were going for awards, because I competed in the first timer category, and then the open, because I wanted to say, okay, how do I first timer, you'll never be able to do that again, see how that looks like, see how you stack up there. Then in the open, see how you stack up against everyone else, because that's also cool to see, like, okay, where am I at, where can I go with this? Only person in the first one. That was scary. Again, talk about that a lot more in depth later. But then open, there was supposed to be 4 others, but someone dropped last minute, so there's 3 others. But still really cool just to be on stage with other people, and it was fun. It was cool to go through the posing, and just, like, I just felt like I was in my room again. Which again, that's when you just practice so much that you're just in it. So then they're going for awards, and I'm the last one called, and the guy in the backstage is like, "Dude, you just won your pro card." I just looked at him, and I was just so confused. I was just so confused, and I was like, "Can you do that? Is that even possible?" So I told him, he's like, "Dude, yeah, like you." So it threw me off, like, again, so much. It was all I did was laugh, and all I still do is laugh about it. Because, like, damn, not to discredit it anyway. That's not what I'm saying, but I was like, wow, that happened. It was just surreal. So yeah, it ended up like the rules. Every federation is different, but with OCB, and because I compete in OCB, as long as there's at least 3 people in the category, you are able to win a pro card if you're in the open. So there was 4, so that was possible, and I just ended up being the best on the stage on that day, and was awarded the win and thus the pro card. So it was. They gave me a cool helmet. That was cool. I didn't get a sword or an axe, but I got a helmet. It's like a Spartan helmet, because the whole
Yeah.
it was like the battle of the gods, like Spartan theme. So that was really cool. And so I won the helmet. They gave me the card. I actually got. They sent the actual card in. It's like a metal engraved card, which is pretty cool.
You get it in the mail?
Yeah, they just came in like a couple days ago. So that was cool. A backpack. They gave me some cool stuff, but I was that was not on the actual card to win the pro card. Like, I didn't plan to do that. I didn't even know that was possible. It was just a very nice, like, additional cherry on top of the sundae that already had cherries on it, because everything went so well and was so much fun. So I was just like, I like cherries. That's fine. I'll take it, and I'll very much respect it. So yeah, like, that's why, like, when you started getting busy and prep started getting harder, it was like, okay, it kind of makes sense to take a little break. And I think specifically for me in the bodybuilding, it was because when I first set out, I had all the intentions to document as much as I could, and I think because I thought it would be beneficial for myself and for other people to go through it. But as things got more difficult and as they got more real, it just made more sense to me to be even more present with those thoughts and those feelings, because I felt like then I would learn the absolute most about myself, and then also about the whole bodybuilding thing, to then be better able to share it later on in the future. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yes, it'd be cool to still continue to video and talk about it, but I think, like, I'll never do a first competition, and that'll be my first time doing a competition ever again. And everything was so new. Like, I've never been this low body weight. I've never been so low body fat. I've never experienced this type of fatigue. I never experienced these type of negative thoughts. And it was just so new. So I wanted to respect myself and also the game of bodybuilding and give it my full attention, while also still giving my full possible attention to my clients and my work and my writing and my family and my friends, because that stuff is all still very important to me too. So it was like you said, sometimes we have to push and pull, and it just made sense for both of us. The timing lined up where we'll put a little bit of content on the side, and then we come back with all this other content. But I think, yeah, just being extremely present with it all, doing it, having a blast. And then, of course, giving the same type of respect and focus and intention going into the recovery phase afterwards, because that's extremely important. Sometimes people even say harder than the prep itself. I can confidently say I'm out of the recovery phase now, I think. Like, I feel good about saying that. It's been 2 through 12 weeks now, and I think I'm in my 3rd week of official improvement off season, which is cool. And I feel that's accurate because of how well training is going, of how just quote unquote normal I feel, energy levels, excitement to train, all those things. So it's like, feel good about all of it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. We do need to do an episode soon that's just a full deep dive into especially the latter part of your prep.
Yeah.
And the show day itself, and the peak week and the show day, and then the recovery. Like, we got to do a full deep dive.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much. Like, even just like the show day itself can be one whole episode. The week up is the whole. And I think people are like, how could you stretch that out that much? Again, because I was so intentional. It's so clear to me. Everything is so strong. Everything is so just there. And I'm very glad that I did that too, because bodybuilding and training is very important to me. And that only has been enhanced because of this experience. And that was also something I really wanted to make sure was true, because a lot of the times people get into competing, bodybuilding, powerlifting, anything, they just go full in and they burn themselves out, or they just hate it. And I really did not want to hate bodybuilding or training, because I love it. As obvious as that sounds, but you don't realize that until you're there, because you're like, well, why am I suffering so much? Like, what the hell? This sucks. Why am I still doing this? Why do I continue to suffer? Why do I continue to push? Well, it's like because of all this cool stuff you can learn about yourself. So I think, yeah, I was very happy to do all those things, and I can confidently say, like, I'm so excited for bodybuilding. I'm of course going to take quite an extended off season, at the very least 2 years, more likely 3, if not more, to just like improve, to come in with all these new skills and outlook as well, because that's been super cool. Again, another whole episode, even just like this post, like I said, 3 weeks of actual training. Like, man, every week is like pretty linear in terms of just like performance and feeling good and just excitement. So that's really cool, because that's where the improvements come, right? That's the whole thing. We're just trying to improve. So I want to make it without a doubt that I improved, to myself importantly, but others as well, because that's kind of cool to see.
Awesome. You should be very proud of yourself. I'm proud of you, dude. You like there is no right or wrong way to do a prep, but I do think there are better and worse ways to do a prep.
Yeah.
And you did it very, very well. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and I think all the more reason to share more about it, and that's why, like, I think it's cool to talk to, and especially talk to you about it, because you also did the same thing and you were able to experience it, but experience it quite differently and still similarly at the same time. And just, I think, again, it's like, I think you can look at bodybuilding from the outside perspective and see it as unhealthy, or see it as like, why would anyone want to do that? But especially if you're in it, but for those who don't, or getting some type of think about it, like, it'd be cool to help open up some thoughts and some doors for them. Say, hey, like, this is how it can be done. And more important now than ever, that we're just getting flooded with a ton of information, good and bad, and question markable, because it's we're also in the midst of all that too. But even more of a reason, again, for us to be out there to fight the good fight, if you would.
Indeed. Well, we'll circle back to all that stuff here soon in more detail. But
we're supposed to be better at marketing. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to stay up to date to all the new stuff. And if you want to hear about Colby's prep, subscribe even harder. Question mark.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Right? Is that it?
Exactly that.
Subscribe, click the button harder, and you'll get pushed up on the list.
Break your mouse.
Yes.
Hitting the button. Mm-hmm. Maybe we could kind of round this out with like thoughts for the training arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're back here today, but is this the only episode we're gonna do?
Yeah, I was thinking, yes. We just want to do like the yearly episode. Sounded like cool to build the anticipation, right? Do kind of the Netflix approach, like, okay, these people really like this. Let's give it a year, if not 2, if not 12, until we get to the next one.
And once you get to like the third one that's really good, cancel it.
Cancel it, or just like put so much money into the next season in all the wrong directions and make everyone hate it. Dude, yes, that's the one. I think that's the one. That sounds great.
I love it.
No, yeah, I think it's the cool thing is, it's one, it also felt like we've never left, but it also felt like we left instantly, because it was just, we missed it. I missed you, Jake. I missed everyone else. I missed having like being involved with everyone here. And it's cool now that it just feels like we also never left, because like I said, we just picked back up where we left off. And I think that's kind of the plan too, because just thinking about it, the goal, the vision, the values are all still the same, right? Just focusing on the authenticity, the community, learning, helping others. That's
I thought we established this. The values are now lying and stealing money.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say that afterwards, because you have to really buy them in, and like wow, they really still do like the values. And it's like, but we value the value of currency much more. So it's, yeah.
I see what you're saying. We'll cut this out.
Okay,
we'll edit it in
good,
post.
good. We have an editor now. No, we don't, but we'll tell them that so they think we're cool. So yeah, we just really love the values. So, yeah. But yeah, it's. I think for now, like that's the plan, is to just pick back where we left off. Still have like the weekly episodes, just be more available on Instagram, on Discord. We've been talking a little bit more there too. So if you haven't joined, join there. It's cool. I think I especially noticed this, where like I'm valuing community more and more. I think it's just the personal connection side of things, which is another value that we have, is just it's so important. Maybe it's because I was isolating myself in the bodybuilding world, but even then, like, I felt so connected to other bodybuilders. So it's like all these things that make me just value connection more and more, regardless of how much I love this direction. Like, you'll find your people, and the people are there. And that's kind of, again, why one of the main reasons why we started the training arc, because it's like we want more people like our people. And you want this place to be there. Mainly the training and nutrition, like all that whole stuff, the schooling side of stuff, but also the anime, the gaming. It's kind of like this is just who we are. If you vibe with us, if you jam with what we're jamming, it's like just know we're here, and you want to create that and create a place where people are like excited to go to, right? So Discord is great for that. The Instagram will just be more available as well. So there's all these things that we just want to, be there. And I think didn't you say we had something booked, like an actual in-person meetup in Cancun or something? Wasn't that?
I thought it was Japan.
It was, yes. Sorry, that was.
Yeah.
Cancun's our side one that we're going after just for fun.
Yeah, it's a 6-month all-inclusive.
Yep.
Right, PayPal to me directly, and I'll make sure that everything's sorted.
Yeah. Yep.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. That's I'm excited for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's just we're here. We're back. We've also never left, but we're more present than ever, and we're going to be just continuing to build forward. I think, again, the training arc is very special to both of us, and it's not just an excuse for Jake and I to talk to each other. Promise. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe it is just a little bit. Jeez. But if that is, hey, then that's okay with me. But we're hoping the others enjoy it as well. Because I don't know about you, but people are blowing up my phone. Where's the training arc? Oh my gosh, I've been dying to hear. And this is very true, by the way.
I have actually had a couple people ask, which is cool, right? It's really cool. It's like we are both well aware that we are not the Joe Rogan Experience, right?
Thankfully not
quite that many listeners. But it is super cool when like people are actually interested. That's awesome, right? So, echoing what you said, I'm just excited to be back doing it. We have some new interesting things that we can be talking about now, and as we both continue along the directions that we're headed, we're going to have even more new interesting things to talk about. I'll be complaining about peer review and all this stuff. No, but yeah, it'll be fun, man. And season 2 is going to be great. We'll see where it takes us, and we'll go season by season like that. And like you said, I have plans. I'm fine tuning a little bit still, but plans for like more Instagram stuff and getting back on that, because I have not posted on Instagram in a very long time, and I recognize that there's some value to be shared that I am just not. So I'm trying to get back on that too.
And that's the cool thing. Like I said, we're planning to do the regular episodes like this, but we're also have some cool stuff in the works. We got to build the anticipation again. I've been reading some marketing stuff on about Instagram again. Just say those buzzwords and they'll go crazy. It's that easy apparently.
Comment training arc in the comments to get a DM with the offer.
Perfect. But yeah, there's because there is so many cool things to talk about, both within ourselves, about the field, about everything else, but there's also so many cool people to talk about. So there's so many avenues for everything. I think we're just gonna keep it at that and say like you're gonna be seeing us and you're gonna be having fun alongside with us, which would be something we very much look forward to. So we're back. Feels good. Thank you all again so much for being here, for joining us. We hope that you're excited. Like I said, definitely keep us in the loop. Keep up to date on Instagram, on Discord. Just talk to us. We also need friends outside of just wanting you to be here. Like, apparently my mom keeps making fun of me that I don't have as many friends, but let's prove her wrong. That's a point of action, something else I learned of marketing. But yeah, it's crazy. It's so cool. I'll spill the tea later. But yeah, thank you so much. That's it for this episode. As always, we'll catch you in the next one.